Hey, it's Pupmeister, and today I'm going to show you how to make an item elevator. In other words, toss your items in down here and they'll end up in a chest up top. Just in case you don't have an ender chest or a shulker box, or maybe you're in a mine that has like a ton of stuff, and you just don't want to have to go all the way to the surface and back to empty everything out just to come back down and keep going. So I am down here at level minus 52, and a lot of the item elevators you see built for you are like built on the surface in the air. Like, who needs it there? I'm going to show you exactly how to do it where you're going to need it. So, let's get started. You are going to need one block of ice. I have blue ice, but it can literally just be plain ice. It doesn't have to be any ice specifically. You're going to need a few signs. It depends how far you want to go. You're going to need one soul sand. You're going to need a bunch of kelp because we are using a water elevator. That way you don't need a whole bunch of redstone and droppers and all that garbage. You're going to need one hopper, 2 chests, and a couple buckets of water. So let's get going. So the very first thing you want to do is figure out where you want the elevator. So once you pick a spot that you want an elevator, and I'm going to build it right here, you need to go to the surface. So basically look where you want to build it, check the coordinates, and then go to the surface to check where that will come out, because you need to know where the elevator is going to surface to see if it's in a good spot or not. So I'm just going to get this ready and then we will continue. Okay, so I'm going to start here. So you need 7 across and then 2 in and then 2 more in, but a little further, and then 2 more in. So I'm going to be going up right there. All right. So let's bring this down. So how this is going to work is wherever the shaft is going to be, that's where you want to place your soul sand. Okay, right in there. In front of the soul sand is where you want to place your ice. And you want to place one sign right on the ice like that. And then you want to take your bucket of water and throw one in there, and your other bucket of water and throw one in there. Okay, so you can see everything is flowing to the middle here, and it will go right in. Here, I'll throw my pail. So no matter where you throw it, it'll go right into the shaft. Okay, now the reason we have a sign here is not for this water, but when we fill this with water, we don't want it flowing back and creating an issue in here. Okay? Now, needless to say, you could also have some glass handy. If you want to see any of your shaft going up or watching things go up, you could use some glass. And maybe even I'll get some. Now that I mention it, I might replace some of this with glass, and then I can see the water go up. Okay. Whoops, we don't want to put it there. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to grab some glass, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. And I am going to open this up a bit and throw some glass in here. Okay, so you want to, I guess I should have picked that up first, but oh well. Nah, I'm going to get it. Okay, so you want to cover the front of it like this, and you want a block over the sign, okay? So things can just fly in there. And then up you go. Now, here I go breaking another glass. When you're here, that's where you want to take the coordinates of what you're going to do. So, minus 1271. And we are at minus 49, and we're going to minus 839. So this is where we want to be up top. Okay, so let's block it off just like that. And now we want to go up top. So I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so we're on the surface, and as you can see, we are at the coordinates, minus 1271. Minus 839, and we are 72 high. So some quick math shows that we need to dig 121 blocks down. Since we need to dig down here, let's talk about some safety. Now, I prefer to dig with water for two reasons. I have aqua affinity, so digging isn't affected. I have a respiration 3, so I can hold my breath a super long time. And what the water does is if you come across lava, you won't fall in the lava. It will automatically turn it to obsidian. Or if you come across a huge empty cave, instead of dropping 50 blocks and dying, the water will just carry you down with no problems whatsoever. Okay, so, and then as you need air, you can just dig into the side. You just need there, and then walk in, and you have your air, okay? So, not a big deal. Let's put some water in, and then I'll start digging down. I'm keeping an eye on my bubbles as I go down. And when we are around the second bubble, that's when I will dig in to the side for some air. You don't want to leave it too far. Oh, here we go. So we popped into a little cave here. And for now, I'm just going to block this off. Just like that. It's important to remember to block up all the holes, including the ones you used to get some air while digging down. Otherwise, your items may get stuck in those holes or flow out somewhere else that you don't want them to. Gotta have your shovel and pick ready. And of course, efficiency definitely helps in this situation. I'm going to have to break the glass again when I get to the bottom. Oh, and here we are. Look at that. Okay. See, now if this sign wasn't here, this would backflow and create an issue where things would get caught in the edges instead of flowing forward. Now, the other beautiful thing about using water is that you're going to have to put water there anyway, because now we want to get the kelp out. In order for this to work and the soul sand to create bubbles to go to the top, every single one of these water blocks has to be a source block. So instead of having to go all the way up with a new bucket of water every time, which is easy and creative, but a total pain in the you-know-what if you're in survival, and I, of course, only do survival, the kelp will turn the water blocks into source blocks. So what we want to do now is just build the kelp all the way up. Okay, just like that. Just keep hitting. Just keep clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking all the way up. You want to build this kelp all the way to the surface. All the way to the surface. And we're almost done our first. Okay. Oh, I might as well actually just get some air while I'm here. There we go. Okay, and now we want to keep going. Keep going, and of course, it makes sense to know that you have enough kelp to reach the surface, okay? So no matter where you are, do that simple math we did at the beginning, just to make sure you have enough. So I'm just gonna have a quick sleep to bring daytime, because I really don't want to have to constantly be battling things here. Okay, so we have kelp all the way to the top there, and we could really maybe create here some of this that we got, and then maybe a little more water and one more kelp and that'll at least kind of bring it to the surface up here. Okay, so now we want to dive all the way down. Psych. We want to dive all the way down. Dive, 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 dive. I'm going as fast as I can. Diving down past that little cubby hole there. All the way down, and here we are. All right, so I'm going to break that, and we're going to have to put glass there again. See how it totally flows back out? If that sign wasn't there, it would be coming out the bottom, just like it was coming out there. Okay, so the bubbles are happening. So just to show you, there's going to be kelp up there anyway. So let's throw some coal, because that'll be not something that's happening. Okay, so you can just toss things in here, and you can see it goes straight up. So I'm glad I have a lot of extra glass. I'm gonna break this glass. Whoops. And I stepped in. And up we go. Now you can make a water elevator for yourself, of course. And I have a video on that as well. But now we have something that can carry your items. So should we do this all with glass? Sure, I've got lots of glass, so let's continue to do this. Okay, and how high am I gonna want it? Let's bring our items right into here. I think that would be great. So let's check how high that is. Okay, so I think we'll come in here. So we are standing on 77, so we're going to want it on 78. Okay? Okay, so we're on top here. And what level are we at? 76. 77. 78. Okay, so let's just double check. Yep, we are on 78. And we probably want it to move over a little bit. But for now, we're just going to bring it forward. Okay, and you just want to keep going forward. Just like that. Can do this fairly quickly. Where are we here? Oh, we still have a ways to go. Somehow it looked a little closer, didn't it? We're almost there. Bring those out. And then that is where it will flow in. And it's always a good idea to have some blocks covering where it flows in. Okay? And same way over here. You're going to want some blocks covering this as well. But before we do that, we need to bring the water all the way up here. Okay, so let's pour. We're going to want it even with this, just like that. Okay, but remember, we have to make all these source blocks. And it ends right here. So what we're going to have to do is place a temporary block, and we'll place it right even with the ground. Okay, so we know which one won't be a source block. And then up we go. And then of course we just have to go down. Going down slow. All right, just like that. And then to make this last one a source block, you can just use a pail of water. Okay, so just drop it right there and see how we sprung up right away. Okay, now we'll bring in the glass. And we can cover this. And we probably just want to cover one more, okay? And that way, when things pop up here, they won't like jump out over here. They'll stay in the stream. Okay, now this is where your extra signs will come into play. Now, in order to keep things moving here, you want to place the sign on the last part of water. Okay, just like that. Okay, now that we have our water, place the next water right after the sign. And then as you'll see, when things are in here, it'll just flow right through. Okay, so once again, sign here, water here. Now, I don't want water flowing all over the place in there. So before we do this, let's get the inside of the hut ready. Okay? So the water is going to be coming right in here. So let's put the chest right here. We'll put the hopper going into the chest right there. And then if we want to expand it, we could put 2 more double chests underneath with a couple more hoppers, okay? If we wanted to expand that. And then we want to put glass all up here, okay? So that the water can't go anywhere but on this hopper. And because it's glass, the chest can still open. Okay, so now we're totally ready in here. Let's go back out. All right. And we want to put a sign right there. And then the next bucket of water right there. And that'll go right into the chest. So we can do just a quick test here. Let's throw, well, we can just throw this sign even. So let's throw that in. And we'll check to see if the sign is in. And there it is. Let's go all the way down and throw some things into our item elevator and see how it works. So here we are at the bottom again. And remember when we first went in, we had to break that. So now everything is flowing as it should again. Now, if you don't have ice here, when you throw things in, they're all just going to stop right there. Okay, so that's why we need the ice. So the reason I have this kind of setup is so you don't need droppers and placing things in a chest and stuff like that. Okay, so you can, if you want, you can throw a whole, like here, there's 22. We've got 22 raw iron. So you can just throw all 22 up. Just like that. You don't have to throw them all one by one. Okay, so here's some slime. You don't have to like throw them one by one like that. You can throw full stacks. So it's no slower than if you had a chest here with a dropper. And there you have it. That is the full system right there. Super simple, hardly any resources, and you can just throw your stuff in here and it'll end up upstairs in the chest, in this case even in our village, but wherever you want it to go. And last but not least, we'll just pop up there and check the chest and make sure everything transferred okay, and then you can see how well this works. Okay, so here we are back up top. Nothing in the hopper, which is good. And let's check our chest. There they are, 22 iron and 3 slime balls. So as you can see, Our system works really well. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, this will help you out in your world. If it does, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you soon.